Good morning from the spring garden. It's a little bit chilly and cloudy today, but that doesn't seem to bother the plants too much. They're growing really well, even though they're only in their first year. Now, I'm not in my first year, of course. I just had my birthday recently, and that comes with birthday gifts. One of the things I received for my birthday recently is this, and we call it a pot press. I'll show you how it works. I actually received two. There's a tiny one as well. You can make pots out of it without actual pots around them. So these are pressed into the soil, and then you create these tiny squares of compacted soil, and you can sow individual seeds in there. And I've also got a big one, and I need this one at the moment because I need to prick out my seedlings. They really need to be potted on. So the idea is that you wet the soil so that when you compress it together, it will stay together. Now, I'm not sure if I got the correct soil for that because it's holding its shape. So we'll see if I can get it to work, and otherwise I need to get some other soil for this. So let's try this. Well, the sun is coming from behind me, but I still hope you can see it. So the idea is to press this into the soil. Like that, I guess. And then push it down. I got one of my seed trays here. Maybe I'll do this on a more firm surface, like that. And then you should be able to there, well, almost. And then you have separate units. I don't think my soil, see, it is working. I don't know if it's working too well. I don't think this soil is too well suited for it. It's too loose. I'll have to try with another, like potting compost. But that's the idea, and I really like it. So it is time to pot on my flower seedlings, and they're a little bit overgrown. And I've got here some Tropiolum majus or nasturtiums, and they're called Bloody Mary, really pretty color. And I'm just going to use a fork to lift them out of the tray, and then I'll pot them up. And I'll use some of my lovely terracotta pots, and they don't, I wonder if they really have to go into a pot first because they're big enough. I think they would be fine if I just planted them out. We're not expecting any more frost, even though the frost date hasn't passed yet. But I'll pot them up and leave them in the pot first. And after that, I will try and pot up all of my flowers. And there's a lot, and I don't think I have enough terracotta pots, which I'll have to wash first. It's gone a little bit cloudy, but I wanted to show you the nasturtiums, and they're over there. And I did make two more of these pyramidal climbing frames. So now I've got four right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do like it. I thought it might be too much, but I like it. And the nasturtiums, they're over here. They're doing really well. They've grown. They're in their little pots. They've grown and they're going over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's nasturtium, I think it's called Bloody Mary. So it's got a lovely color, and I'll show you a picture. And for now, they're just waiting. I wanted to see what would happen, because it's going to be a little bit colder again. And just looking at these tulips. Very pretty color. I really like that. That's one I would like to get again next year. So, yeah, but it's looking good. So I'll just wait for a few days, and then the nasturtiums can go in there as well. I just noticed this spider in my greenhouse. It got a bee. Oh. It was getting a little bit hot in the greenhouse, and even my camera stopped working. So I decided to wash some of my terracotta pots so I can use them for the larger seedlings that need transplanting. And like I said, it's just temporary until the danger of frost has passed and they can go out into the world on their own. But this is just very nice. And a lot cooler than in the greenhouse. Now that is dry in the sun. There, clean and drying in the sunshine. Another beautiful birthday gift arrived in the mail today. I know what it is. It came from France, and it's not necessarily for the garden, but it is garden related. And it's really beautiful. I'll put a link in the description of the Etsy shop where this came from. Now, that looks so pretty, and it looks like a birthday gift. Look at that. It's a jardinière, and it's by Tessier. Handmade. There's the mark. It's so gorgeous. I thought it was a little bit bigger, but I can just imagine that with a beautiful flowering, small flowering plant in it. Like I said, I don't think it will go in a garden because I think it's too fragile. Gorgeous little piece. Another fantastic birthday gift. I love it. Absolutely love it. I planted some lily of the valley in my beautiful jardiniere. And they're a little bit too big. And they're starting to go over. But I love them. I love the jardiniere. I love lily of the valley. It smells so good. And I love them together. Yeah, lovely, lovely. Very pleased with that. I brought them in onto my old kitchen table, and here you can see they're starting to go over. And I'll probably only keep them in here for about 2 days. It's a little bit dark in here. But yeah, it's such a pretty jardiniere. And the other thing, I'm a bit worried that the soil in there will discolor some of this. Well, I don't know. I don't think it's porcelain, but ceramic. But it is. I just adore it. I'm so happy I bought that. Or, well, actually, it was a birthday gift. Another bonus of birthdays is that you get flowers, and this little bouquet here, they're the remnants of a huge bouquet, and it was starting to go over. As you can see, some of them are a little bit floppy. But that's all right. I still really like them, and I've cut them short. I removed some of them and put them back into a smaller vase. And I think I'll get 2 more days out of them. Yeah, very pretty. Love these colors. It's quite a hot day today, so the sheep are in the shade. I hope the sheep shearer is coming soon because they really need a haircut. And I've been working in the garden as well, in the shade, and I've been potting up my tomato plants. The seedlings really needed to be potted up, and that's what I did today in the shade. It was really lovely. And I've got about 16 varieties of tomatoes here, and 16 different ones. Yeah, they're looking really good. I'm keeping them in the shade for now, and later on, I've watered them really well, and then later on I'll bring them in and they can grow on before I plant them out. And the other seedlings that I transplanted yesterday are now in the greenhouse. They're really doing well. But it's been quite warm. Yesterday was like 27 degrees Celsius. So, which is again quite warm for us. But so I kept them outside in the shade, and then later in the evening I brought them into the greenhouse. Gave them another good watering, and but they seem to be doing really well. So we'll see. Now today I should be potting up these zinnias and other flowers that I've got in here, because they, I mean, they're way too big already. But I've done a few, those little ones in there. So that's my task for this afternoon. It is getting a little bit warm now. The sun's come out again. It was cloudy and like I said, it was a little bit rainy. But now it's gone sunny again. So I'll bring those out and do the same thing as I did yesterday for the tomatoes. I'm running out of small pots and I prefer these smaller ones because they take less compost, and compost is getting very, very expensive. So it was like, what, 10 euros per bag, and these are small bags. I mean, it's not like a let's see, this is 20 liters. I don't think this one was 10 euros, but still, it was quite expensive. So I prefer the smaller pots, and they seem to do fine, but I'm running out. I've used a lot of them for my tomatoes, and so I'll start with these up here. And I've got my forks, and I use those to prick out, to kind of scoop out the plants. And try not to damage the roots too much, so I'll do that. Because they're so small, I decided to plant these Achillea into these. I think they're cardboard or something like that. And I've already done one. It's over there. And it's quite simple. You've got these little individual cells. You just poke a hole in there when you put some soil in, and then take one of those. It was a little bit difficult to separate them, and gently lower them into that hole and put some, another one, gently lower it in there. Put some compost around that. And then when they're all in, I'll water them, and because they're so small and delicate, they'll look a bit, they'll flop over for a bit, and but they'll come back up. So I'll just continue doing that. And the other thing I thought I'd do, because I have so many, with these as well, I will just plant a few directly into the soil, into the ground, into my border, and see what happens. It should be okay. We're not getting any frost, so. I've already separated the zinnias, so I can just pick one up and drop it in there. Yeah. Now, all I have to do is water it, and there's one. And repeat. very nice developed root systems on the zinnias. I like that. Water them all then, and I'll just plant these up in the garden right now before they dry out. I'll just put them here, I guess. Got a couple here. There's one more. Let's put it there. There's some potatoes there, and that's the tomato I've planted. It's always a bit tricky with one hand. We'll see how to... Oh, there's one. Not much of a root system on that one. But we'll see how it does. There. So I've got a couple of zinnias here and mare's tail. Got a lot of mare's tail everywhere. It's just, I've come to accept it. And tomatoes, parsley, rosemary. Oh, I can see some, what are they called again? That should be in there. Water them, and I think they'll be fine. We'll see. I kept saying zinnias, but they're not. It's calendula. So, now I probably have way too many. Oh well, I can give them away. And I already have calendula in there, in that bed. So now I've just planted those, and there's a couple there because I had them last year as well. So, yeah, we'll see. I keep saying that, but we will see. Well, here they are a few days later, and as you can see, they're doing really well. Most of them are upright now, and as well as all of my, well, the other calendula, my zinnias, they're doing really well. They seem to be a little bit leggy though, and I don't know why, because they're getting a lot of light and it's not warm anymore. It's quite cool actually. I should say cold, because it's only, I think it's 10 degrees, and last night it was 8, so it's quite cold. Even in the greenhouse it's not very warm, and I've put up this bit of broken glass because the wind is northeasterly, and it was just blowing through here. Not very good for my lovely tomatoes and little seedlings here. And I've also put up this mesh fabric on the outside, and it seems to be working to block the wind a little bit. So I think the temperatures will rise again next week. I mean, we're only in the first week of May, right? So it can still, I mean, we could still get night frost, but I don't think we will. Next week I hope to start with a project on the side of my greenhouse here, and in the meantime I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a like and comment, subscribe, because that would really help with the algorithms, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye bye.